Welcome, 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 everyone. Oops, socially distanced, socially distanced. This is Vivica Von Rosen coming to you like super live today with one of my besties and the Instagram expert, Subi Zimmerman, and coming in from Australia, which who knows on StreamYard which way it is. This is my friend Lance, who, we were just talking earlier. Lance, you and I are some of the earliest LinkedIn trainers, and we've known each other since 2006, 2007, something like that?
Yeah, maybe 2008.
Yeah. Oh, fine. Just be that way. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, it's so cool that this technology, well, first of all, who ever would have thought in 2008 that there would be such a thing as live streaming and that we would be on it together 12 years later?
That's right.
Right. So Lance, tell us a little bit about who you are. Sue, you'll do the same thing. And then what we're going to do is talk about LinkedIn stories today. So we're going to start with Lance, and I'm going to show some, so I'll be off over here. I'm going to be showing some screenshots because I don't have LinkedIn stories yet. Let us know in chat, actually. Let us know in chat. Do you have LinkedIn stories yet? I believe it's only on the mobile device. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Lance, tell us a little bit about yourself and then we'll get rolling.
Okay, so 1968 was my first year in out of school, high school,
that's
straight
when I was
into
born.
work. And I started working in import-export in a customs broker and a freight forwarding company. Over the years, 1975, I set up my own business, and then a number of years later, I merged with another company. I got involved in 2006. I joined Austrade, the Australian Trade and Investment Commission, which is part of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, which is like the foreign affairs is ambassadors going overseas and representing the country, but the trade part, I was working with that. And then I left there in 2009 to help people with social media. But I'm now going back to helping people with their importing and exporting because
especially now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's a bit about
awesome.
me.
That's awesome. And Sue, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I met this beautiful chick right here when I spoke on stage in Victoria, BC at Social Media Camp about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago. And we've been besties ever since. I think I have more pictures, more selfies with Vivica than any other person in the world. The smiles, we just love smiling at the camera. What can I say? And I've been teaching Instagram marketing for 8 years. Prior to that, I had a retail store here on Cape Cod, which is where we are broadcasting from. And
live.
I've learned the power of Instagram strategically from being my own case study. And now I have a team of 12. We work with hundreds of pro clients in Ready Set Gram, thousands of people in our Ready Set Gram community who really are business owners who want to become known as the go-to authority in their industry and really share with the world globally what they have to offer. And obviously Instagram is the tool that you can do that very, very quickly. And I'm excited to share with you how to do that in stories.
Well, just already we have got a lot of people saying, hey, Sue, hey, Lance, good morning from Arizona. No, I don't have it yet. Our friend Alfred is here. Adam, great to have you here too. Omar, Louisa, Judy, Juhi as well. Duana, Nikti, that is a great name, but I don't know how to pronounce
it. Is it Nick Tay?
It's Nick Tay.
Hey, Nick Tay.
Okay,
she's from my audience.
Yeah, she's yours. Kim, Linda, awesome to have you all here. You're going to see like the back of my head as I start working and trying to manage the chat. But so LinkedIn stories, not everyone has it. Let us know in chat whether you have it or not. I know Lance has it. So let's go ahead and here I am multitasking. Let's go live. Like a ninja. Let me see. That didn't. Oh, here we go. Okay. And then I have to do it here. There we go. All right. So now we're all lined up in the right places. Tell us a little bit about LinkedIn, not LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn Stories. This is LinkedIn Stories, not Live. So first of all, how does stories differ from LinkedIn Live, differ from native video on LinkedIn, Lance?
I guess the easiest way to describe it is probably that. Oh, gee, my phone's now.
It's 1:30 in the morning. Why is Siri bothering you?
So no, it was Google Voice or something or other. Anyway, look, think of it as Snapchat or TikTok on your phone. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. So it's basically using your phone in the portrait position generally.
Okay. So it has to be in portrait being up and down or sideways? Up and down.
Up and down, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like
so
Sue is showing. Okay, perfect.
So what you can see there's on the left-hand side, I've shown you a screenshot of my phone with LinkedIn Stories. And up the top left, you'll see my little round head. And next to that, yes, very good. KD is Key Directions. That's my company LinkedIn page, company page.
You can have stories with both personal pages and company pages.
And in the last few minutes, you can have showcase pages. I've got 2 showcase pages that just popped up in the last 15 minutes.
Okay, so now you're just rubbing it in because most of us don't even have it, and you have it on your stories, your company page, your personal page, and your showcase page. Now you're just rubbing it in, Lance. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
So if you look, up the top, those little round areas, that's what you'll see of people that you're connected to, first degree connections. And there's probably about 15 to 20 people. If you scrolled right, you can't do it on there, but on your phone you scroll right and you'll see up to a maximum of generally 20 people. And so
you're saying about a 720 million users, 20 people have stories. No, I'm just kidding. Keep going.
And we'll show that some stage or afterwards. At the moment, the only countries that generally have it are Australia, Brazil, France, the Netherlands, United Arab Emirates, UAE.
Yeah.
I think I've got everyone there. Although I found one of my connections just got it, and he's in Belgium. But I guess that's close to France. Maybe he goes across the border or something to do it.
Well, and what I heard is we're supposed to be getting it in the US near the end of August, which I thought, well, maybe if we have a live on it, they'll let it out sooner, but no. Oh, well, we should be getting it eventually.
So there's 4 screenshots you can see in front of you there. The black one where I've got news story, that what I'm showing you there is if I was to on my phone and I wanted to create something, I could down the bottom you'll see images and videos, and I can go down there and pick up any images or videos that I've already got on my phone in my gallery, so to speak. The photo live video, the round circle there, if I want to take a video live or take a photo, I press that. Obviously to the right of that, I can change it from front facing to selfie mode.
Nice.
And then once I've done that, up the top you'll see text and stickers. So text is like if you're sharing in a LinkedIn post, you can share text onto it. And a few of them are GIFs, particularly if you've got a video. There's some that will actually be like a GIF. And then that's the stickers. Yeah, the text basically, and you'll see a few in the screenshots we've got. Text you type and you type the text and then put it up, bit like you would do in a post of an image. Now on the right there, what I've taken is about a month or so ago, my family, we went up to what's the Taronga Western Plains Zoo. It's about 4 hours out of Sydney.
Nice.
And what I did there, so one thing, when you're taking a video, it's only 20 seconds long duration.
Okay.
And
So
and
how
these
long
stories,
is it in
15 minutes.
okay, so about 5 seconds more than Instagram.
okay, and so an image is about 5 seconds long. Okay, so
Oh,
20
okay.
seconds. So you've got to realize how that's going to work now. But
Yeah.
if you try and load in the images and videos that we've just talked about, if I try and load a video that's more than 20 seconds long, it won't load it. So particularly if you want to
Wow.
be sharing things in real time, those videos that I took, most of them are 19 seconds. So by taking it from within stories on your phone, it'll go 19 seconds, then drop out. So you start another one. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how that works. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And that was one thing I wanted to point out to everybody too. And we're going to go, and basically I wanted Sue to know too, because when we start talking about Instagram stories, as Mette pointed out, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name, it's basically the same as Instagram and Facebook, but as Louisa pointed out, there's less options, less stuff you can do with it.
I believe so. Like. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I have to say, I don't use Instagram or Facebook pretty much at all. Yeah. I've used Snapchat for a year or so a few years ago, and I've been using some Snapchats to put into Instagram stories. Not Instagram, into LinkedIn stories.
Yeah. My friend Michaela Alexis is doing a lot of TikTok, and she puts TikTok into LinkedIn. So I can see why you would want to do that. Yeah.
Now in this series of 4 screenshots, the left-hand side, I've put in the promo for tonight's
for today
live stream. And you can see up the top, I put the text LinkedIn stories, and down the bottom, I've put some emojis plus the link that people would have signed up for. Now, they're not clickable links.
On that live? Can they click on that live?
They can't.
They can't. Okay.
That's why I made it so big. Yeah, so that people, if they wanted, they'd have to, copy it, and type it in themselves. Then on the next slide across, you'll see insights. So if I go into my own stories, I can see who's viewed them. So,
that's nice.
What I did with this, I did 2 slides of the same thing, so people could actually read it. After 5 seconds, it disappears. So there's 2 5 seconds, which is 10 seconds. So you can see on the first one, I've had 5 viewers. The second one, there's only 4. One didn't want to look any further. So you've got to think of that. How do I keep people engaged to take them through?
Yes.
If you've got a series.
Yeah.
And then on the right-hand side, you can see I've gone in, there's up the top there's 3 little dots. If you tap that with your hand or your finger, it comes down to the bottom there where it says you can either delete that story, you can download the story to your phone, or you can send a private message. So if you want to send I think I sent you one back in when we started
talking about this.
Yeah, so I can send that to my first level connections.
Nice.
And I can send it to people in other countries, but they may not be able to view it. It just depends on what happens. So that gives you a bit of an idea.
Something that Sue was telling me about that the other day, and that's something she does and I'll let Sue actually speak for herself here in just a moment. But one of the things that you can really do to build that community is DM or private message all the people who have looked at your stories, right?
Yeah, so that's right. So those people that you saw before, don't go back to it, but you saw them there. I can actually go in then and I can go to their LinkedIn profile, or I can send them a message saying thanks for viewing. And I did a lot of that in the first few days when I was doing it. I was sending them out to people so they'd be aware, because a lot of people that weren't, and probably still aren't aware, that they've got that ability to view them, let alone send them and create them.
So quick question from the audience here, and then Sue, let's jump over to you so you can give us some things that you do with Instagram stories that maybe we can pull some of that over into LinkedIn. But there was a question from the other LinkedIn Vivica, Vivica Hess. Hey, Vivica. It's Vivica. She wanted to know, will the stories disappear in 24 hours like they do on Instagram and everybody else who has stories other than LinkedIn? And same with private message. Will they disappear or will it be a regular private message?
The message, once if like you can actually, if someone's watching your story, they can actually, down the bottom, they can type in or put emojis. I generally put emojis in because it's easier. And so that goes to their messages. So you'll see the messages that you've sent on LinkedIn stories. You'll see them up in your messages that you've sent that to somebody. But when you go to it, it'll say that story is no longer viewable or words to that effect.
Oh, okay. So it'll do the same thing. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lance. Hang out, because we're gonna keep going. But I wanted to, and this is kind of a cool. Lance was sent me these screenshots earlier. Like, you can see some companies are making good use of stories, and with great images there. And then the other thing is ads. Like, Link Stories has ads too, I think. So that's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe.
So it's only for me here in Australia, it's only happened in the last probably week or so. So American Express is doing a lot, as you saw up there. Mercedes-Benz, Accenture, and a number of global brands are using him very effectively.
Okay, yeah, that's I'm sure they're just getting it ready for us. They're just getting it ready, and don't mind me here. I'm just typing. So you talk, Sue, while I try and figure out what the heck I'm doing here and pulling up your profile.
Yeah, you can. Okay, so hey everybody, so good to be here with my bestie Vivica. I've been using stories since day one of Snapchat, so I am very versed with Snapchat. I did not jump on the TikTok bandwagon and all, but I went all in on Instagram day one of stories, and I've been doing them for at least 4 years. August, Instagram launched Instagram stories. So a lot of the features that Lance talked about are also part of Instagram. And I'd like to start this, Viv, if you're okay, with strategy more than tactic. I mean, like high level strategy for business, especially on LinkedIn. It's so important if you're going to be creating stories, is that they represent you and your business in some way. And it's not just showing what you're doing or your dog or what you're eating or where you're going. It really needs to align with your core values and your messaging that consistently shows up as you, as the authority. And so everything that I do on Instagram stories, a lot of the features that Lance talked about that are available on LinkedIn are there on Instagram, and then so much more. And, especially with the announcement now of Reels and more textiles and all that. So Instagram is an extremely creative tool. And that's why I lean into Instagram so much, because I'm an artist at heart and a business owner who's been teaching Instagram for so many years. And there's so many engagement stickers and ways that you can take the conversation into an Instagram direct message, a one-on-one. And I just want to put this out there. I was telling Viv this yesterday. Every single message that I have gotten from anyone on LinkedIn in the past month is extremely spammy. There's no reference of me. It's all about them and what they do and why I would want to show up on their summit or be a part of their thing. And it doesn't feel good. What feels good is starting a relationship just like you would in person. And that's what stories allow you to do. It allows you to really amplify the content that you share in your feed, to promote it, to broadcast it, to amplify it in a more creative, strategic way. And Instagram stories, if you tap on the avatar
Okay.
and Instagram stories, we're going to take you through my current stories right now.
We're going to
Just
try.
For those of you
There we go.
that follow me on Instagram, thanks. For those of you that are part of my community, thanks for being here. If we look at my active story right now, we are in a pre-launch to our Ready, Set, Graham course. So I'm often showing people, I'm teasing what I'm sharing the next day, which is about ITV. I use Reels.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Day 5 of Learning Week, and this video is all about IGTV. Let me know in the feed post what your biggest takeaway is. So you can add hashtags that are hyperlinked. You can bring people back to the content in your feed.
You can do that on IG, not on LinkedIn.
You can copy and paste. You can copy and paste test comments and testimonials. You can use the engagement stickers like the DM to take the conversation deeper. And notice that everything's on brand and everything is consistent. So because I was on the beach with Vivica actually yesterday, these photos were when we were together. I just snapped pictures of the sunset. I'm sharing testimonials. Testimonials endorse the content that you're creating. When other people talk about you, you don't have to talk about yourself as much. And it's proof that what you do supports other people and they get value from it. And so that is really important. What you're looking at on my feed, Instagram, are all my circles of highlights. So on Instagram, after the 24-hour period, you can bring the content into your highlights. So we've got all kinds of highlights here for supporting resources for people when they're on Instagram. And we're looking at Instagram on the desktop, obviously, not my mobile. But when you look at Instagram on mobile, you can see your insights. You can see who is tapping forward, who's tapping back. You can have those deep conversations like we were just talking about in the DM. We've closed hundreds of thousands of dollars last month just using Instagram direct message tactics that I teach, because they work when you don't say just thanks for watching my story, but you literally start a conversation with, did this help you and how can I help you further? Or what did you enjoy most? The goal of messaging, in my opinion, is to keep that conversation alive and to keep it going so that they get to know you a little bit better. They hear your voice, maybe you're sending them a video, because in the Instagram direct message, I don't know if this is true on LinkedIn, but you can send voice messages, you can send videos. And so you can send GIFs. And so you can do all these things to really authentically nurture relationships. And I think people on LinkedIn just need to understand that a lot.
Yeah. So let's recap what you can actually do on LinkedIn, because you can't do everything on Insta. But you can obviously upload images. You can upload short videos, as Lance showed us. You can add stickers and text. They are not hyperlinked, unfortunately.
If you use a hashtag as a hyperlink?
No.
Okay.
No. LinkedIn's not that savvy.
Okay.
But I love there's two things here I really want to pull out that Sue said. First of all, don't be a spam bot. Like, she was, on and on. I'm like, yeah, well, I get spammed on Insta too when the 2 minutes I'm actually on it. But
I want to ask you something. I do want to ask you, and I want you to be honest.
Yeah.
Are all your like all your notifications, or you're being tagged as the LinkedIn expert?
No. The few people who reach out to me, actually not on Instagram, but I've had a bunch of people say, oh, we love your feed. We want you to be an influencer. And I'm like, yeah, no, clearly you haven't looked at my Instagram feed. So there's some spam, but LinkedIn is actually really, really spammy sometimes. And so you want to use these tools for good. So I want to point that out. But also, I love the follow-up that Sue was talking about. And mind you, you can only do it on mobile-ish right now. But when you follow up, when we get stories, if you follow up with the people who viewed your stories with a DM, why not use the voicemail feature? Why not use the video feature? Because those are both available on free LinkedIn on the mobile device only. There's also a question earlier about stories being available if you have Sales Nav. No, They're just not available in the US yet. All right. I didn't want to interrupt you,
No, I'm
but
glad
I
you
want to make
scroll
sure.
and let me know if
Yeah.
if anyone has any questions about Instagram
Yeah.
stories, please ask. I'd love to answer them live. I really respect those that show up live on any broadcast. Your time is valuable, and there's a reason that you're here. So hopefully we can answer any question in your head right now. And I'm sure a lot of the high level strategies for stories in general for Instagram cross over to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The one pet peeve that I just really have about LinkedIn is that people use these automation messaging tools that they don't spend the time to see who they're sending it to. And my response is often like, Vivica, do you know who I am and what I do? Like, why are you asking me if I need a virtual assistant? I have a team of 12. Like, do you even know who I am? So it gets really, it's like, it gets really annoying. And I actually respond back with these challenging questions, because anyone that's on automation, yes, it saves time. We use it. We schedule it. I use Planable, and I know Vivica uses Agorapost, and those scheduling tools are great. But when it comes to building a relationship, you cannot automate that.
Yeah.
And so that is my biggest message to all of you. And when you show up in stories, and I really need to say this piece, because when I'm coaching my clients, the most important value of stories is you. Is us hearing Lance's accent. Maybe you're hearing my Boston accent, but we want to see your smile. We want to see your eyes. Are you really telling me the truth? Are you really walking the talk? And we want to hear your voice, because the only way that we're going to do business with you, as Viv always says, is if we get to know you, like you, and trust you. Yeah. And so that trust comes from putting yourself out there now more than ever. The trust has to be at the highest level of value. And so that, if any of you are a little nervous about going live, doing video, get over it, because that's like the first thing that you have to understand. And I love that Nick Tay is here in the comments, because when I met Nick Tay 5 years ago in Florida, when she drove to do a strategy session, she was scared shitless to go live on video. And now she's a boss teaching courses and doing video, and so comfortable. But the only way you get comfortable at anything, as Viv knows, is by doing, and not just wishing and wanting and hoping.
And Lance, I know you've being in Australia, you get access to this stuff earlier. You found it. Are you finding yourself using video more now that you do have stories, now that you are able to private message? Are you finding yourself using video more and more comfortable with video? Because it feels to me like stories is a good way to dip your toe in.
Yeah, I actually haven't done many videos of myself on stories, but I get probably 2 or 3 connections requests each day. Yeah, and I'm just using video now instead of I've got a little template which I personalize for each person, but now I go through the person's profile, and then I give probably maybe a minute or so just saying, I notice what you do, I can see all the success you've had, wish you well into the future, and my little sign off. And it's me, and I'm umming and ahhing, but that's okay, because that's what I do. And
the more you use video, the more comfortable you get. Although I was editing a video I was sending in for a live webinar I was doing with the recorded video. And I could not believe how many ums. And like I said, I didn't say it earlier, but I said, like I said earlier. And then I realized I didn't say it earlier. So I had to, there's editing tools, but there is something about just being live like we are right now with a few little glitches.
Or even just to like take back a little bit of what I said, because we've built out a Beth bot in Facebook for, in ManyChat. And with that, it's all like, there's GIFs of me, there's photos of me, there's my energy, my wording, the way I would say something, the way I would engage to get someone to sign up as if I'm talking with them in person. Yeah. So it's true. Automation has its place. I like that Stan said that. But when it comes to that, the first message being about you and not the person, that doesn't feel good. And these
Yeah.
messages on LinkedIn are all about their new book or their webinar or their course. And it's not about even getting to know
Yeah.
me or what I do. And that's what doesn't feel good. So that's really what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah. What would be cool is if stories were evergreen, you could do like a welcome, thanks for inviting me to connect, or would you like to connect, and use a story to do that? But I don't think you can on either platform.
You can, so on Instagram, you can create these highlights, and every single highlight has its own unique URL. So to Viveka's creative brain right now, if you wanted to create a welcome, she's so good on video, right, you guys? If you wanted to create a welcome video and save that as a highlight and use that in an email or on a LinkedIn post, you could literally tap into that specific highlight. See how I have praise and I have learn with Sue B. These are its own unique URLs, everything, even stories on Instagram, every post on Instagram. So you could essentially do what you just said.
Lance, do you know if each LinkedIn story has a unique URL, or is that too advanced for LinkedIn?
Now, I think you've put the link, or we'll have the link to go to the help pages on LinkedIn. And I suggest people do that. But you can download your stories. I haven't tried to, because I don't think it's going to work for me. I think the live thing is much better. And I take what Susie's saying. You can automate things, but I think being real, as if you were shaking hands with somebody and talking to them as you would, do that as we're doing, like Zooming and this now. It's much better to be in the present, not a recording.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what, Lance? So on Instagram, you can download your whole story. So if you created a great story beginning to end that had a certain message and you wanted to save it, you could tap the down arrow at the top right at the end of your story, save that story and repurpose it in a Facebook group on your Facebook page. And that story plays out as a complete video. On Instagram, the clips for photos are 4 seconds versus, I think Lance said, did you say 5?
I think it's about 5, but that's,
Yeah. So on Instagram, it's 4 seconds per photo and it's 15 seconds, not 20 seconds per video clip. So when you download the whole story, it plays as its own video, and you watch a photo for 4 seconds, you watch the video. And so I like to work smarter, not harder. I like to download stories that will give additional value to my Ready, Set, Graham community. And often I'll put that in the Facebook group for people to watch, because you have to remember, not everybody's watching your stories when you're creating them,
right?
Believe it or not. And not everybody's on Instagram or LinkedIn when you're on. So if you want to repurpose on Instagram, you can save to highlight, or you can save that whole video. And I'm sure that LinkedIn's going to be bringing that feature soon.
Right now, most of us don't have any of this. So this is, so to Sue's point and to Lance's point, save this live. And I'm going to put it in. I always keep my lives in articles, in an article on my LinkedIn profile, pulled up in my featured section, all these features. And so, save that so that when you do finally get live, you can listen, or so when you do finally get stories, you can listen to this live again. That's in my articles on my featured section of LinkedIn. You're going to remember all that? We are at time. We're actually 5 minutes over, and I know it is like it's 2:05 a.m. for poor Lance right now.
That's okay.
Good night.
So you can stay on, or if you want to jump off because it's 2:05 a.m., we completely understand it. I'm so excited to finally get to talk to you face to face after knowing you for so long. I am happy to stay on and take any questions. Again, we've got the LinkedIn Stories Live expert, Lance. We've got the Instagram Stories expert, Sue B. Zimmerman. And then we got me. So do you have any more questions? Just go ahead and pop them into comments. And I know Andre is keeping an eye on our socials, so she can let me know. Viveka says that must be good coffee, Lance. The other Vivica. Vivica has, or the original Vivica. I don't know. I don't want to call you the other Vivica. Vivica. The Vivica with the C. There we go. Vivica with the C says, that's good coffee. Awesome.
Stan. I like Stan's comment. I don't think anyone's catching up with Instagram anytime soon.
Do you have any final words for us, Lance?
I just think one thing, people often have very busy pages that you won't be able to read it all, and you can't stop it. If you tap it, it'll actually go to the next one that's there. So the only way you can stop it is to start making a comment in the comment field at the bottom, but then you can't see it all anyway. But the best thing is to try and keep the any graphics or any text fairly large so people can actually read it. It's a bit like having a roadside, one of those huge placards beside the road, and that they've got so much small print you can't even read it when you're driving past.
Exactly.
So it's being smart with understanding the platform and what people what period of time they've got to read what you're putting up there if it's text.
It's being wicked smart, as Sue said, but also know your audience. So Instagram audience is probably going to be a little bit different than a Facebook audience. It's definitely going to be different than a LinkedIn audience. So yeah, you're 100% right, Lance. Keep it. It's not KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's keep it simple for the salespeople. That's what I always say.
That's a good
Keep
one.
it simple. Keep it simple, smart.
For the salespeople.
Smart.
And smart. Keep it simple and smart.
And have fun. I mean, I always, it's like just infuse your personality, your true personality. Don't feel like you have to be so buttoned up and busy, right? I mean, just let your guard down a little bit so that people can really get to know you a little bit better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All right.
Sure.
Any last words from you, Miss Subi?
Hey, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, and I know you did because, Vivica's so good at this, come on over to Instagram at The Instagram Expert and let me know what your biggest takeaway was, and I will share it with Vivica when it comes to LinkedIn. I mean, Instagram.
Instagram, LinkedIn. Let me see here. I'm at, it's right. Oh, it's not in our name because I'm hiding it. It's The Instagram Expert, though.
Yeah, make sure you put a the in front of it and just let me know. And I'll send you a Instagram DM video if you mention Vivica's name, I promise.
And then make sure to follow Lance on LinkedIn, Sue on LinkedIn, me on LinkedIn, so that when we finally get stories, we can send them to you. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. Peace out. And we'll see you next week for...
Thanks, Vivica. Thanks, Subi.
Bye, everyone.